So today, what are you going to do for us, Chris?
Well, we're just going to wash out a Cornet. Dead straightforward how to wash it out, what's the best way to go about it, or our way to go about it, and how to keep it safe, put it back together, and just make it play a little bit better. So first we're going to take everything apart, take all the slides out. Usually on your third slide there's a lock, which on this one is the fingering. Lay all those down somewhere nice and clean, and then we're going to take the valves out. Obviously we unscrewed the tops, but also we've got 3 bottom caps as well. So we're just going to take them 3 off. On top of the valves there we should be able to see a little 1, a 2 and a 3. Wherever you stand to play it, the valve nearest you is usually number 1. The numbers are on this side of the instrument, they're not on that side of the instrument. So your valves are quite delicate. Pop them somewhere safe. If you're putting them on a countertop or anything like that, then just make sure they can't roll off, then go to wash the body out. So at the minute, what I'm doing is I'm just giving the instrument a little bit of a wash out with some warm water at the minute. As long as the water isn't too hot, it's a little bit cooler than washing up temperature. I'm going to use a good old trusty toothbrush. So we're just going to pop a little bit of ferret liquid on there, and we're going to clean the valves out. So we're just going to go in the valves. We don't want to go too far. We've probably gone about that far up the casing, so we'll do it from both sides. If you're careful with it, you can't really damage the casing. So make sure you've got a firm grip of it, because what we don't want to do is drop it, because then you'll have to go see an instrument repairer.
Chris at Instrumental Fixation.
And he'll take all your money. The only specific brush that's for instruments that I've brought, which is, we just call them flexible snake brushes. As you can see, it's got a little brush on the end, and it's got a flexible shaft on it. This is good for Cornet, so it'll go around what we call the lead pipe, so this bit here. Now, I wouldn't go round there with it because it'll be a bit too tight. So we just feed it through, and usually it gets to about there where it catches on your little water key. So we're just going to come backwards now.
What's coming out of there then, Chris?
Yeah. And then we're going to go that way as well. So that way it goes all the way around. So we're going to wait till it pops out, and then we're just going to pull it back. Now you can get these brushes that got plastic coating on and stuff like that, because it does sound a bit noisy going through, but for the amount of times you use it, it won't do you any harm, and look, it's already a bit dirty in there, so this one's pretty clean to be fair. So while we've got this, I'm just going to go into them little tubes there, nice and delicately, give them a little bit of a squish out. We don't want to go too far around here because we'll get this brush stuck, so we want to know we go about that far, so that's to where my thumb's holding it. So if we just push it, and we know we got there because that's where the thumb is, so we're going into there. And then, while we've got it wet and everything, I'm just going to give the outside a quick clean. One of the easiest ways I found is just take a dead cheap, disposable-ish paintbrush. We're just going to pop a little bit of ferret liquid there, on the brush, only the right little bit. And then we're just going to give it a little bit of a clean. Again, make sure you keep hold of it, because we don't want to chase it around the bath. These brushes are really soft, so they won't do any damage to the lacquers or the silver plating on it. And then I'm going to do a quick rinse off. So as you can see, it looks a bit cleaner. What I'm going to do now is clean the slides, so the bits that we took out and the valves. This is all clean, we'll set this to one side. So as I said earlier, there's 4 slides. Now this might have a little bit of slide grease on it, so it feels a bit greasy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a baby wipe or a wet wipe, and we'll take the old grease off. It'll make it a bit easier to clean. Don't use any of the wipes with bleach, or anything like that, so just the kind of baby wipes or skin wipes. So I'll do that on all the slides. Try not to squeeze your slides too much in that way, because you'll bend them out of line, so just be careful when you're doing it, just lay them in your hands. Now we're just going to show you how to clean a valve. Again, your valve is really delicate, so be really careful. You only pick up one at once, and only do one at once. Keep the others in a safe place. We're going to use a good old trusty toothbrush. What we've got to be careful of is we don't want to force anything into the holes that are through the valve. If your valve's sticking after about 10 minutes playing, usually a washout cures it. Anything more than that, then just go have a chat to your local music shop or your local repairer and maybe go from there. But to clean them out, what we're going to do is just put a little bit of washing liquid on, toothbrush, and just give them a little foam up. A little valve guide there. what we're going to do is just going to do a little bit around there, just to clean that, and the other side. Well, as you can see, what I'm doing is trying to get the bristles of the brush a little bit into the hole, but I don't want to force the brush in, so just some little bits like that. The slides again, a little bit of washing up liquid, and we're just going to quick go over, just to give them a little bit of a clean. And our magic snake brush, we pop a little bit of fairy liquid on the end, and we just go down into the slides and back out. So again, we're using the thumb as a measure so we don't go too far around the corner. So we know that if I go to my thumb, then that's as far as the brush is going to go. So now I've just washed all the slides inside and out. So I've had a little brush through, or just to the legs as far as I can get it. And then we've given them all a wash out. We've washed all the valves. Again, I've just left the valves in the bottom of the valve because this is a safe place to put them. They can't roll anywhere. The last thing to do is just clean out the bottom caps. So again, we're just going to go around them with the toothbrush and a little bit of fairy liquid, and I'm just going to pour a little bit of a rinse off. I've laid the instrument out, so I'll just give it a quick wipe over with some kitchen roll just to dry it, and then we're going to pop it back together. Before the slides go back in, they need a little bit of grease. Vaseline is okay, but it doesn't last long enough. So what we normally use is just what's called a tuning slide grease. What you're trying to do is get the grease on the slide without getting the grease on the valves. It's already had its bath, so let's try and keep it clean. So we've just got a little bit of grease. You can start with whichever slide you want to do first, but I would recommend doing the main slide or the tuning slide last. So we've got a little bit on a slide. What we're going to do is just going to pop a slide in like that, move it backwards and forwards a bit, kitchen roll, and we're just going to wipe the excess off. So as we can see on this one, it's got what called reverse slide, so that one's got both the inner legs on that bit, whereas this has got one of the inners and one of the outers. So we need to pop a little bit of grease on this bit, so just make sure it goes all around the slide. This Cornet has got what they call the third slide throw on it, so if you're just a student playing, then I'd probably leave it quite tight like the other slides, but if you want to throw it out for tuning on your third finger, which would be like that, and then you'd throw it out like that, what you want to do is just pop a little bit of valve oil on that slide as well. Just pop that back in, and then you can set it to wherever is comfortable for you. It catches on that little ring there, if it comes, so it can't fall out effectively, and then it always stops. So we've got to take the finger ring out to get the slide back in. So that's what I've done there. So we're going to pop the valves back in now. We're going to take the bottom caps and do them first. Always be really careful when you're putting threads back on. We don't want them going on like that or like that. We just want to line them up nice and square and just really gently turn them, and you can feel that it started to take on the thread. So that's the bottom 3 valve caps on. So now we're going to pop the valves back in. So as I said earlier, our valves are numbered. A little number 1 just by my dirty fingers, and what we're going to do is we're just going to very gently hold the valve and just let it fall in, and that's that. Just let them fall in. That's number 3. Now what we need to do is we need to pop a little bit of oil on these valves. I'm just going to pop a few drops on there, there and there. So that's all we need. It's had its bath, so we don't need to bath it in oil. We just need a little bit. And what I tend to do is just lift and spin a little bit, just to swipe the oil around the valve on all 3, and then we know we've got it all covered. And what we're listening for is that little click. So that's the little valve guide, which is that bit there, sitting in its little hole where it needs to be. And what that's there for is to stop the valve spinning when you press it. So we need all the holes that are in the valve to line up with the holes in the slide. So that's why it needs a valve guide. So what we need to do is pop it in, and it clicks into place. So again, we need to just screw the tops down. So if we're just dead gentle with it, we can screw them on. There we are, that's your Cornet washed out. It's ready for a little wipe over with a soft cloth. This one, because it's silver plated, we could wipe over a little like jewellery cloth, the silver cloths. And if it was lacquered, like this one, we'd use a lacquer cloth, or maybe something like a yellow duster that's make sure it's clean and it's got no dust or grit in it. Your mouthpiece is probably worth at some point investing in a little mouthpiece brush, which is about that long, and it's a similar shape to the snaky brushes, but it cleans the mouthpieces out a treat. or failing that, just leave them in some warm soapy water overnight and then give it a rinse out in the morning.
Right, are you going to clean my trumpet now, Chris?
I wasn't planning to. You've seen how to do it now, Amanda, so it should be dead easy.
Okay,
now.
okay.
You can borrow a brush.
So, thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.